Hey guys, Jared James here. So glad to be back. As you know, last week we were off due to vacation. I was on vacation. I don't know if anybody else was. But had a fantastic week, recharged as usual towards the end. I was looking forward to getting back with you guys and doing this. We've got a fantastic broadcast today that we actually invited other people outside the program into today too, because I think it's going to be one of those really valuable things. You know, I was talking to Scott beforehand, and he was talking about the format and what we should do. And I said to him, I said, look, when I'm live at an event, I love to motivate and have fun and make people laugh and everything else. And I still want you to be motivated and laugh on these broadcasts, but the real point is to really kind of roll up the sleeves and say, this is exactly how you do this thing. This is maybe not as sexy as other things, but this is exactly how you do it. And I think, Scott, I even said to you, I said, look, you know, Disney lied to us. We grew up with a lie. Dreams don't come true. Now, I know that sounds terrible. Don't tune out just yet. Guys, Jared James here. So glad to be back. Coming on. Let me turn this off over here, guys. Hold on. I was on vacation. I don't know if anybody else was. But had a fantastic week, recharged as usual towards the end. Someone have it on in the background? With you guys and doing this. We've got a fantastic... check and see, make sure you don't have that link open on one of your... day too, because I think it's going to be one of those really valuable things. You know, I was talking to Scott beforehand, and he was talking about the format and what we should do. Someone's got a link open. Let's see. Guys, give us 1 second here. This is the joy of technology. Sometimes we find these kind of things open. Were you able to find one?
Hey, I did. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem at all, man. That's a rite of passage in the Google Plus Hangout world, is when you leave the link open. But it goes on a delay, so you are now officially a Google Plus Hangout user. So anyway, what I was saying, guys, real quickly, Disney lied to you. The idea that dreams come true. Dreams do not come true, guys. Dreaming is for people who are sleeping. It's for people who have drool coming out the side of their mouth. Goals come true. Outcomes come true. The things that you do every day that earn the thing that you want, that's what comes true. Actual action is needed. And so that was the point of a broadcast like today. It's the idea to be able to show everybody, look, you know, a lot of you know I promote, and I really love the Listings to Leads program and what it can do, especially for the cost of it. It's so ridiculous. But it does you no good if you don't know how to use it. So we're gonna be able to get into that a little bit today, and I'll introduce Scott in a second here. First off, though, from last week, I always like to say that if someone helped out on the last broadcast, you know, thank you to Bridget Martin, who was on our broadcast and did an excellent job, and I think provided a lot of value to a lot of people. We talked about a couple different ways to create seller leads, and I'm now all in. I'm fully committed to Prime Seller Leads. Okay, we've created a deal with them, which is primesellerleads.com/Jared James. We've had some people ask us what is the difference between Prime Seller Leads and Listings to Leads, which obviously I have Scott on right now from Listings to Leads. Both of these companies are going to be at our annual advance, and here is the difference between them, and they're very stark difference. I mean, they're very, you know, they are very different. Both of them provide the landing pages for if you want to, you know, somehow drive traffic to those landing pages, like what Scott's going to talk about today on your own. They both provide that, but that's not what I'm recommending Prime Seller Leads for. Okay. That's what I'm recommending Listings to Leads for, among other things, okay? Because Prime Seller Leads, if you go to primesellerleads.com/Jared James, you're going to get 30 days free, just like many of the places we work with. But they're going to have two packages for you, and I don't recommend one of them. The lower package, which is $59 a month, basically gives you access to fantastic seller landing pages, which are fantastic. But I don't recommend spending the $60 or $59 a month on that lower package because, quite honestly, and Scott's going to show you this today, Listings to Leads offers that same things for $30 a month, plus many other things on top of that. Okay, the difference and the thing that I recommend Prime Seller Leads for, primesellerleads.com/Jared James, is for their next up package. Their next level package is like $159 or $160 a month or something like that. And that gives you access to their people to actually do the marketing for you to drive the traffic. And then what you do is you set a budget with them. They'll get on the phone with you and they'll go over with you what your budget is, how you want to do it. And they themselves, they're people who are pros. This is what they do through Facebook advertising and pay-per-click and many other places, Bing and other places. They're going to actually say, what's your budget per day, and we'll create leads for you. So you say, okay, I've got $5 a day. And by the way, there's no long-term contract. You can shut it off after 5 days if you're not liking it, okay? But you say, I've got $5 a day. So over 30 days, that's $150 plus the $160 for the package. That's $310 a month. But they're going to use that $5 to do nothing but create leads to those landing pages. And all you do is get the leads and respond to them. That's it. So it's kind of like a set it and forget it. That's what I'm recommending them for, okay? We have many people in our program. Mike jumped in last week. As you know, Chris jumped in and said, look, I set them up for like $10 a day, and I had to turn it off because I had too many leads coming in, because they know what they're doing, okay? So that's what I recommend them for. But as far as just using landing pages and doing things yourself, I can't recommend listings to leads enough, and that's pretty much what we're going to go over today, is how they do that, how they help you create leads, and the various ways they do it. And they've also now, for any of you that have signed up in the past and you're like, well, it was just too difficult, I didn't have time to do everything I needed to do, and great program, but I just couldn't do it, you're going to want to stay on the broadcast, because what they've done now is they've automated everything, which to me is a game changer for them. And quite frankly, it's why he's on the broadcast right now, because I think it's such a game changer and such a thing that is so worth it for so many of you, where you pay this really small fee, you start out 30 days free, and then it's like $30 a month, but all the different things it can do to create so much business for you. It's really the difference between, and I want you guys to get this, because this is a life principle, it's cost versus value. That's really what it is. If you're in business, there's a certain cost associated. What you want to know, though, is if it's just a cost or if it's value, okay? Cost is what you spend on your kids' Christmas gifts every year that they stop playing with 2 weeks later, okay? That's just a cost that you get, that you put out there, that you're never going to get back, okay? Value is what you get in return, okay? So value is the idea that if I spend this, but it brings me this much of a return, that's called value. And I've said to you guys many times, if you knew you could spend $100 but it would bring 10,000 back or 1,000 back or whatever it happens to be, why would you ever stop playing that slot machine? And that's the idea that I want you to be thinking with as we do this broadcast right now, because Scott's program is $30 a month, which is, when you look at what it can do, it's crazy. But it's the value it can bring in return. Okay, everybody in our program, if you've done it in the past, do it again, because now it's automated and you're going to see how that works. And a lot of you, a program is no good if you don't know how to use it. We've had this issue within our own program. You have people, I would say 90% of the people who end up canceling at some point, when Marie reaches out and says, why are you canceling, they don't even know what was in the program. They've never even logged in. They've never even, and Scott, you could probably relate to this, like never even used it. So they fall in love with the idea of it when a guy like me comes in and talks about it and does whatever. But if you don't implement, what good is it? What good is a car without gas? What good is a bike without pedals? I could go on and on, okay? So with that being said, guys, again, listingstoleads.com/Jared James. You're going to hear that over and over again. I want everybody in our program in this. At least give it a free trial run. It's well worth it to do that. Scott, you're the founder of this company. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on today. We're doing this a little bit different than most of our coaching broadcasts, where this is going to be an interview and kind of demo. You're going to show us. And, guys, as you have questions as we do this, as usual, post them in our Facebook group, our Jared James coaching group. You can tweet me. I sometimes look at email, but not always, so just either tweet me or Facebook me. And if you don't have those two things, get them, but then email me. I've said to you guys many times, whether you like Twitter or on Twitter or not, if just to send me questions during these broadcasts, join Twitter for free, follow @Jared James today, and send me your questions, okay? So with that being said, Scott, thank you so much for coming on. You want to say hello to everybody, and let's get started.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Yeah, no, thank you for having me on. I think this is my first time with you here on this, so happy to be here. We're all back from vacation. I was on vacation a few weeks ago, so time to get back into the fall work schedule.
Of course, you live in California, so it's a little different coming back from vacation. I mean, let's be honest. I come back to Connecticut. I'm actually vacationing from a place. You're basically going back to somewhere I would go to vacation.
Well, we were actually in Charlotte and Pinehurst, so you're not going to stop of you, but yeah.
We probably have some people on the broadcast from Pinehurst. I did an event there about 6 months ago.
Oh, my God.
We had a backdrop overlooking the golf course, and yet I didn't have my golf club, so it was just...
No, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. So,
awesome. So, and you're going to be at the annual advance in November.
I will be. I'll be at the annual advance as well. Can't wait to meet everybody. We have a lot of clients from your group that are using us. A lot of great stuff that we're hearing from them. So I'll be excited to meet new people, but also for those of you that are clients of ours that will be there, love to set up some one-on-ones with some of you people, maybe do some little group trainings as well as needed. So, yeah, no, I can't wait to be there.
Awesome. All right, sweet. So with that being said, man, why don't you show us a little bit, screen share, show us a little bit of what you're doing and how it works, and then I'm just going to ask questions as we go along. to kind of help because for what I think people want to hear. Guys, if you want to hear something as he's going through this, tweet me, write in the Facebook group. I'm seeing people maybe need to refresh their page. I see people saying they don't even see the video yet, so I'm going to make sure that's working correct. But why don't you get started, and I'll check that out.
Yeah, and everybody should be seeing my screen. It's a landing page. It says, what is your Noe Valley home worth now? Jared, do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Okay. So Listings to Leads was started about 5 years ago, and it was really just a Craigslist posting tool. I'd worked at a Sotheby's International Realty affiliate, was the director of online marketing, and just got really, major problem with directing traffic and leads back to us, right? That was in the time when Zillow and Trulia were calling us up every day. Well, they still do that. And, I didn't want to just spend $1,000 a month to give somebody else money and not try to figure out how to do this ourselves. So for the last 5 years, we've just been adding more and more tools to drive traffic back to our clients' websites, whether it's an agent, a broker, a company. And as we've done that, we've added new tools that can help you just with your entire business. And so what you're looking at here, and as Jared said, prime seller leads, listings to leads, there's a lot of companies out there that actually have these types of landing pages. And I think, these are two of the better companies, and they have very different aspects of the market that they go after. So this landing page, there's unlimited. So if I've got 10 areas in which I sell, I can have 10 basic landing pages like this one. I could customize this to say, what is your Noe Valley condo worth? What is your Noe Valley investment property worth? Change the pictures out and so on. And these are free within our program. So because we want, the more listings you get, A, the better your business is going to be, the longer you're going to be a client of ours. But the biggest problem I think with most agents is, and Jared, I know that you help out with agents with this, is if you don't have enough listings, you don't have a business, right?
Right. Now while you're doing it, I want to make sure people understand this. These listing landing pages, the idea of them and the reason why we send people to these and not specifically to your site or whatever it happens to be, unless you want to make it a sub part of your site, is because the closing ratios, the call to action is much stronger.
Exactly.
More people are going to, when they see this, they're going to fill out the information and come through.
Yep, exactly. So now on the listing side, so we got seller leads. We're able to set up a Facebook ad. We've got training on that. I'm not going to get into the how-tos on this kind of a call, but lots of ways to get those landing pages out there to start generating seller leads. Now, on the buyer side, and Jared had mentioned a few months back, we really got to the holy grail of what I've been after for a few years now, and that is, can somebody sign up for listings to leads and never log in again? Right? When that is
right. That was the big issue that people had.
Yeah. And I mean, don't ever log in, right? For the basic property marketing tools. And we have finally achieved that about 3 or 4 months ago. Did all the fine tuning on it, and so let me just kind of paint a picture for everybody here. And Jared, I heard Jared on one of his previous calls recently where he talked about, a great strategy, and for those people that did it exactly the right way, they got good success. For those people that went off and kind of did what they wanted to do, they got different kind of results. And so I'm going to paint a picture for how it's working for clients, and they're, people will do with whatever they want to do, but you sign up at Listings to Leads. So I am at listingstoleads.com/Jared James. I sign up. During this process, you're going to put in the email address that your MLS is you're associated with in your MLS. We import the listings automatically if your MLS is using ListHub, and now you've got an account. You got the listings in the account. Our support people actually set up your account, so all the branding, all the links to your website. Our support people do all of that stuff, and then they're going to call you for a walkthrough. Even though you don't have to.
Scott, real quick, while you're doing that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody understands, like when you talk about updating with ListHub and stuff, that's basically the overall place that updates to all these places, the Zillow, the Trulias, all these kinds of places, so that everybody understands that.
Exactly.
And then one more quick question. Somebody's asking a question as you're doing this. With those landing pages you showed, can they customize them and add their broker info?
The short answer is going to be yes. Okay. But yeah, you can always reach out to me and ask me more specifically.
Yeah, because they said, like one guy wrote me, he said, can we add broker info to the landing page? Minnesota law requires.
Oh, yeah. We actually put that. It's not on my landing page here because I don't have that in my account. But, yeah, we do put that, the legal description on the landing pages.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, yeah. We've been tried and tested with all this
Yeah, I
stuff.
was going to say, I mean, you guys aren't, you've got more than 3 clients, so you've got to be following all laws and everything and making sure that you're compliant. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So again, you signed up, the listings are in. Our support people set up the account for you. They call you for a walkthrough. But what happens going forward? So you get an email. So I wake up in the morning, I have a new listing I put in the MLS yesterday, and I wake up this morning, I get an email, and it looks like this, and the trigger for all the marketing of this listing. And I'm not going to do it right now because, again, I don't want to get into the how-tos here. But essentially, I click on the email, it's going to open up a URL, and bam, the marketing is going to be automated. I'm just going to walk through real quickly here on the listing, because here's the deal. We've been marketing our listings forever, but the marketing was never done in a way that can actually capture leads, okay? And in fact, let's go back here. Let's go to Realtor.com, because I think I want to show you exactly what I mean about marketing, and then there's kind of like inbound marketing, and that's not exactly the right term, but it's the closest. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. I'm on Realtor.com, and most people are doing virtual tours, and they got one here. So I'm on Realtor.com, and this could be Zillow, it could be Trulia, but I click on the tour as a buyer. So I'm a buyer, I click on tour, and we've got a number of different types of virtual tours. This is one where they use a video. They have a property video here. But as you can see, right, all the information about the property, they even have an area video. But there's these links here on the left-hand side. And one says Napa Homes for Sale. And as a buyer, I see that, and I go, oh, that home is great. I'm going to contact you about the home, maybe, probably not. 99% of people won't do that. But I still have access to your website and can get in here and start looking at more homes for sale. And that is.
So just to be 100% sure, clear for everybody, when you sign up for a listings to leads account, what happens is every time you have a new listing that comes on, it's going to be pulled by ListHub and these places and given out to all these other third-party sites, Realtor.com, Trulia, Zillow, all these kinds of places, right? Mm-hmm. It automatically is going to generate some things, which I know you're about to go into. It's going to generate this virtual tour. It's going to automatically generate what do you call it? The flyers. It's going to automatically generate all of these kinds of things, right? Yes. When people go on Realtor.com, Trulia, Zillow, whatever it is, which are, I mean, nothing wrong with it, but they're going to basically charge you to try to get those leads on those sites. Yeah. What happens is when you upload your virtual tour to one of those sites, because everybody goes and watches the virtual tours if they're interested in the house, yes. When they click on it, it's going to bring them to an external site which is branded to you, which is now off of those paid sites.
Yes.
And anything they do to, show me again like where it has those links for so-and-so homes for sale or whatever. Let me see here. You say something so it goes to that page.
Yep. Right there.
So on the left-hand side there, the Napa home for sale or whatever it happens to be, anything they click on this page is going to be, it's going to bring them to somewhere that is branded towards you, that has calls to actions to give leads to you, that gives whatever it may be, that doesn't cost you any more than your $30 a month listings to leads subscription. You're no longer on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, or anything like that where you're paying a lot of money for these different leads.
Exactly. I mean, hey, you know what? Zillow, Trulia, we all have our opinions about them, but hey, this is a way to leverage the traffic that they are getting for free so that we can get traffic back to us. It's our listing. Let's get that traffic back to us. Let's generate the lead from our listing for us and just learn how to co-opt what Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com are doing, right? So I don't care what your opinion about them are or is, but let's use the traffic they get to generate more leads for ourselves.
And so, that's exactly my point, man. I say all the time, I've got a new book coming out called Get Out of Your Way, and you can either look at stuff like what happens with Zillow and Trulia and everything else and get all upset and say this is happening and it's terrible what they're doing and everything else, and wherever you fall on that, whatever, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what are you going to do with the fact that they have become so huge to generate business for yourself. So if they're generating a ton of traffic, why wouldn't you take that traffic and work that energy towards building leads for yourself at a cheap cost? If a ton of people are going to those sites, why wouldn't you leverage that with something like a listings to leads, which gives you the ability to gain as many leads as you want for that $30 a month without paying a ton of money to Zillow and Trulia. And I'm not anti-Zillow, Trulia. You can buy those leads. This is just another way to generate leads.
Yep, exactly. I feel the same way. So we talked about the automation. So you got the email, you click the link for your new listing, you checked a couple of boxes, and what's going to happen is really a couple of different things. This is an email that you'll get. This is, again, 100% automated. Everything on here is completely automated. This is so popular, Jared, that is shared with the seller. So the agent gets it. And this I don't want to get into what can go to the seller automatically and why too much here, but this email can actually go to the seller automatically from the agent. So it looks like the agent sent it. And sellers absolutely love it. It's got it's showing the seller, and it'll say the seller's name, Dear Jared. And we've started the marketing for your listing, and it talks about YouTube. And the cool thing about it is we don't just tell the seller it's on YouTube, right? Kind of like, who cares? But
right.
we tell them why, right? It's on YouTube because YouTube gets a lot of SEO. It's going to show up on page 1, and it's going to help me generate more buyer leads for your listing, right? I'm not just marketing your listing. I'm trying to generate buyer leads for your listing. And when sellers hear that and they hear those words, right, I'm trying to generate leads for your listing, they perk up, right? They really get that. Every other agent's out there talking about, well, I'm going to market your listing. I'm going to market your listing on 300 sites. I'm going to market your listing, with this and that. You're going to still do that with this program, with Listings to Leads, but you're also going to be generating buyer leads for their listing on 300 sites, on YouTube, with e-flyers. So it's all about marketing.
But you also have another thing you're able to go to the seller with and say, look, here's another thing that I'm doing. Here's another way we're using to market. Here's another way. And the crazy thing, and the thing that I really love about this, and the thing that's important to me, is that, like you mentioned, it's automatically uploading to YouTube in these places. You're giving that link to your seller, which your seller now shares with their sphere, which, whatever. But again, once you sign up with Listings to Leads now, this is what's so cool about the automation. How long is it taking you, the individual, the realtor, to create that YouTube video? You there, Scott?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. What was your question again? I apologize.
My question is, so now that everything's automated and you're able to use this YouTube video and everything else, how long is it taking you, the agent, to create that YouTube video?
Well, I'll tell you what. You'll get this email with everything done before the agent even wakes up.
So that's my point. It's taking nothing. Like nothing. Like literally what's happening, I just want to make sure I'm understanding this.
Yeah.
What's happening is once you sign up with your Listings to Leads account, because it's pulling from List Hub and such, like once that listing goes on, it's going to List Hub and these other places, you're literally just waking up to an email where the video was done for you, the e-flyer is done for you, the virtual tour is done for you. I mean, is this correct?
Yeah, the single property website's done. The Facebook.
Cover that in. So the single property website is done. That's important to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the single property website?
Yeah, the single property website. This is so funny because you always hear people talking about, well, single property websites or not, and we look at a single property website as kind of like the listings. Let me get rid of the Chinese here. The single property website is a way, kind of like a virtual tour, but they're a little bit different. A way to show off the listing, right? We want to show off the listing. We want our seller to know that we're trying to market their listing specifically, individually, in its best light, but also for a way for those people that are not going to contact us about that particular listing to, again, with these links here, you can see that pop-up came up automatically. People generate a lot of leads from this pop-up, right? This follow this home pop-up.
Right.
But again, these links back to us. So
explain what that is, Scott, because a lot of our people, like you and I, understand what that means. But what is that pop-up? What does that mean? How did that happen? What do you mean it generates a lot of leads? Explain to me what that means. So basically, that was the page that people were brought to when they were on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, whatever, and they clicked to watch the virtual tour, correct?
Yep, or YouTube.
Now they're on that page, and that page has all sorts of branding for you, has all calls to action for you to bring leads to you, has all that stuff. How and why is that pop-up happening? What is that?
So this pop-up happens automatically, and when I think I just listed this after 19 seconds, so it gives people 19 seconds to look at the single property website. They can just click anywhere to clear it out if they want to, but a lot of people, they can click request a showing, request details, or I just want to get updates, and they put in their name, email, and follow this home.
So you have a lead for someone who's interested if not necessarily even in that particular house, you know they're looking for houses now.
Yeah. Yep.
And so now you're in a position where, by the way, I want to jump in on this really quickly, because some of you who are listening to this right now, watching this, are saying to yourselves, well, that's great, but that's just another crap lead, because it's just a name and an email, and they're not going to respond, and they're not going to whatever. One of the things we teach in our program is the power of video, and how you want to pick up your phone, and you literally want to take your phone, and I don't care if you're in your car, you want to pull over your car, but if you're out on a plane, whatever it may be, as soon as you get a second, you take your phone, you hit record, you see their name and email, and you go, hey, John, I just saw that you replied to my 2223 Main Street over at so-and-so. I'm not sure exactly what you wanted on that property, but I deal with a lot of properties like that, and there's something really cool about the neighborhood I'd love to tell you about. Email me back at or give me a call at blah, 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 blah. I'll talk to you soon. Hit record and you send it to their email, okay? Your response rates go through the roof when you use video. So the fact that someone's emailing you, you might sit there and go, oh, that's a crap email. No, your follow-up is crap, because that's an email and a name of somebody who took the time to go on a real estate site, took the time to click on a virtual tour, took the time to watch a virtual tour, and then took the time to even further put their info in to follow that property. They have some bit of interest, whether it's now or 8 months from now. They're going to buy from somebody. They're going to sell with someone, right?
Yep.
So the follow-up is really what we need to focus on.
Yeah, and we actually integrate automatically with Wise Agent. So I know a lot of
that's another one who's going to be at our advance. So how does that help that you're integrated with Wise Agent?
So that lead that just someone filled out there will automatically drop into Wise Agent, assign it to a campaign, and
a campaign that they select, by the way. I want to make sure everybody understands that.
Yep. Yeah, so in listings leads in your profile, you'll see where you can actually put in your Wise Agent information. We sync up with Wise Agent so that any time a lead is generated from within listings to leads, automatically goes into Wise Agent. The campaigns, again, are set up the way you want them to, so that you don't have multiple databases. One of the things that we really try to stay away from is creating another database for you to have to log into for follow-up.
Which is, by the way, what I want to stay away from, which is why we're making sure every one of the companies that's at our advance is integrated.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, because who wants another, and that's why we want to have zero login, right? We don't want you to have to log into another program. When I sign up for a new program, as a vendor, I got programs I have to use, and I hate signing up for new programs that I have to learn how to use, and that's why we set up the account for people. We actually call them up for a walkthrough, because we know if we can get you started on this, if we can automate this, you're going to get more success, and you're going to be able to use it for longer, right? And so I
have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I have questions coming in. One of the questions seems to be, do we need a different domain name for every landing page? So explain to them how that landing page works, because it sounds like she's wondering, are we having to do this for every landing page?
No, you can. That's really up to the individual and the kind of the strategy you're going to be using. But no, for example, in listings to leads, all of our landing pages run off the searchallproperties.com domain. And so, for example, this is a particular landing page. What is your Noe Valley home worth now? And in fact, I own a couple of domains like Noe Valley homevaluations.com that I could forward to this.
So if they wanted to create separate domains for themselves, they can. But the point is, if they wanted least amount of work as possible, those are automatically generated by you guys. That has nothing to do with what they're doing.
Exactly.
I want to make that very clear, guys, because that's why I'm even doing this. It's all automated. Like you basically, once you sign up for listings to leads, the idea is it pulls from List Hub, puts your stuff, automatically creates the virtual tour. Some of you are paying separate money for a virtual tour right now. It automatically creates the flyers. It automatically creates the YouTube video and the link. It automatically does all these things. It automatically makes it available with that landing page where people go and it tries to drive leads to you, and it's got the pop-up there, and it automatically does all that. The whole idea is to eliminate the amount of things you're doing, so you're spending more of your time focusing on your best use of time, which is responding to those actual leads and converting those actual leads.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you, one of the cool things on that that's getting pretty popular is, if you notice here on my property landing page, or my seller landing page here, this 888 number.
Yep.
Call that. So we have a property valuation IVR system that is getting, especially with the postcards. So when people send out postcards, that they include that number with their ID, and people are able to call and just enter the property ID. You get the text, and that way you get a phone number 100% of the time. So
did you say you get the text?
Yeah. So if you call that number and enter that property ID, I, as the agent, would get a lead, and it would say, where caller ID were available. hey, Jared James just called for the Noe Valley home value property landing page. Here's his phone number. I call you back. Hey, Jared, this is Scott Pierce. Just saw that you requested a property valuation for your home. Let me get the address, and we'll send it over to you, whenever it's going to be your time frame.
All right, so two things. Number one, that phone number is automatically generated. That's not something they have to give you?
Nope, automatically generated, as are the extensions as well. So, and this is an extra service within our program. But yeah, the extensions, you just click to generate a button, and it automatically puts it in here. I mean, it's dead simple. Yeah.
And second thing, someone asked this question. I told you somebody was going to ask this.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, we already answered the first question, which was, do you have to pay Zillow, Trulia, whatever, to have an account in order to be able to upload a virtual tour and do that stuff? And the answer is no. You get free accounts, and you upload it automatically. You don't have to be a paid, zip code buyer or anything like that. Someone else asked the question, and I told you this was going to come up. What if I don't currently have listings? Can I still generate leads with listings to leads? And my answer to you is absolutely, because it is 100% legal for you to market somebody else's listing if you get their approval through their broker. So if I have a friend who has listings in an area that I want potential leads or other potential listings, or I want, whatever it happens to be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Joe Schmo and say, hey, do you mind if I market your property through a program I pay for, listings to leads? Any buyers are mine, any whatever, but we might sell your property. And as long as they give you the okay, that's 100% allowed. And so you can actually, now it's not going to automatically update the information like what's going to happen through ListHub with your own listings, but they're going to have to manually input the information of somebody else's listing, or how does that work, Scott?
Yeah, well, if the listing was on Trulia, they could use our grab active listing. So on the listings page, you'll see where it says grab active listing here. Right there, grab active listing. I can put in the MLS.
Oh, so they can just pull the information.
Yeah, we can pull in the information.
And make it under their information so that the leads get generated for them.
Yep.
But they have to have the approval of that broker. You can't just go and randomly do that, because ethically you don't want to be doing that with other people's properties.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to do that. We've got a number of different tools within our system, and you saw we have a FSBO module, we have expired landing pages, we've got the seller landing pages obviously here. This is kind of a popular one, the open house marketing. When I was an agent and I was not busy on a Sunday, I would be looking to hold an open house. And if I would have had a tool like this, I would have been much better off, because I'm able to now generate both buyer leads and seller leads from an open house with the open house module in listings to leads. So we have a open house feedback form on the iPad. There's a print version. Open house e-flyers, open house Facebook posts, print flyers, blog posts, Craigslist ads. And as a showing agent, right, so I go on, it's Thursday, I got no buyers I'm going out with on Sunday. I find an agent with a new listing that they're not going to hold open. Ask them, hey, can I hold your new listing open on Sunday to market it, right? When I was an agent, I don't remember anyone ever saying no to that.
Right.
I kind of knew who wouldn't, ahead of time anyways.
Of course.
And so they would be happy. So get the keys, I'm going to hold it open on Sunday. And in listings to leads, we've got an entire module where, as a showing agent, you've got all these tools. And with the seller landing pages, I could imagine being in an open house and having the feedback form, having the seller landing pages, and when someone says, oh, I'm just a neighbor, excellent, and I show them the seller landing page on my tablet, they can fill it out. They're a buyer. I've got the open house feedback form, the open house e-flyers, able to generate leads. So yeah.
You've got the feedback forms, you've got everything within the system, all for the $30 a month.
Yeah, because we want you to get more than 2 to 3 listings at a time. I mean, you've got to have, and Jared, you may have better numbers on this. This can be different in different markets, but there are a certain number of listings you need to have a good ongoing business. And
right.
we want to help you get to that point, right? So it's not just to market your listings, but it's also to get more listings, more buyers, even if you don't have enough listings.
Right. So now here's the question. So someone asked this, and I want to be a little bit more specific with it. Somebody asked the question in one of our forums, can it be used to get seller leads too, not just buyers leads, which I think was the point of the landing page for listings in the beginning. Yeah. I'm going to tell people a couple of specific ways they can do it, and if you have other ways, go ahead and let me know as well. But you have the ability within listings to leads, and you're going to show this a little bit. If you can go to the single property websites. So one of the things that I teach is that when you're going after expired listings, you're going after for sale by owners, you're going after any of these kinds of things, you want to separate yourself because a lot of other people are going after them too. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to show up, instead of just saying I'm going to work hard, I'm going to whatever, to actually create a single property website with their address in the website that basically says, hey, here's my marketing plan to sell your home on a specific site that is their address. That's what a single property website is. You guys have the ability to create those single property websites through listings to leads. Is that correct, Scott?
Exactly. Yep.
How does that work?
Yeah. So if I'm a FSBO. In fact, let's just back up a little bit, because this FSBO module, I absolutely love it. So I can create. You see, these are all the different areas I've got FSBO landing pages for. I'll just show you one. And we've got e-flyers and print flyers that support this. So I've got an e-flyer if I've got the email address. I've got a print flyer that can point to this. If I don't, I can get the FSBO to this page, right, where I'm making an offer to them. I can customize this a little bit with different banners and colors. And they can say, yeah, I want a single property website. I want a virtual tour. I want all this stuff, right? And we get awesome feedback from people on this. They hit next, and they just go through, and you get the FSBO lead. Right. Or you could just add the property, and as you saw there, I had that FSBO lead, single property website up.
Right.
I'll show you the right here. You see that FSBO?
Yep.
So I just added this listing in my account. I did a drive-by, took a couple of photographs of the front of the house, added a couple of area photographs. Now I've got 4 or 5 photographs I can use to create the single property website. The virtual tour took me through.
Once you did that, is it still, since you added it manually, is it still automatically creating the flyer, creating the virtual tour, creating those things?
Everything.
So if I'm going after a for sale by owner, I want to drive by that thing, take a few pictures, do whatever, so that when I go back to them and I'm going to show them this, I'm going to have the single property website, I'm going to say, look at all this stuff I have for you.
Yep.
But the truth is, you didn't really spend that much time on it. It automatically generated it.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. All right. Now, the other thing, too, is that right now, the site it's using for single property websites, I think, is that searchallproperties.com, and then it'll have like the name of the street or whatever you want to have for it. Yep. The other thing you could do if you're listening to this and you want to be a little bit more creative, which is probably more of what I would do, is I would actually I would buy the domain, the $9 or $10 or $8 on GoDaddy, and I would actually go and, let's say it was 332 Main Street. I would go and buy 332mainstreet.com in GoDaddy. And then what I would do is I would go into the back end of that site in the domain, and I would have it forward to whatever link it is that you're auto-generating, right? And you could do that, right?
Yeah, you could do that, yeah. Or there's other things that we talk about as well, like farm-based vanity URLs. So like this listing is in, let's say it's in Noe Valley. That's a neighborhood in San Francisco. I might do Noe Valley bestlisting.com, Noe Valley's bestlisting.com, best listing Noe Valley. So yeah, whether you do an address, whether you do a farm-based vanity URL, and that way when I'm talking to the FSBO homeowner or a seller in a listing presentation, I'm able to show them. In fact, we talk about this. Don't even wait for the listing to get to you. If I'm in a listing presentation and I've got a chance to get a listing that can potentially generate more buyer leads, more seller leads for me, a $5,000 to $7,000 commission check, I might just add that listing ahead of the listing presentation.
Right.
So that when I walk into the listing presentation, I can show them I've got a single property website ready, virtual tour ready, e-flyers ready, YouTube videos ready, blog posts ready, Facebook posts ready. I've got all this stuff ready, and let me show you not just that I've got it ready, but let me just show you how it's going to help generate more buyer leads through the different buttons and links.
I love that. So what you're basically doing is you're not just telling, you're showing.
Yeah.
You're saying, here's actually how I'm leveraging the internet. Here's what I'm actually doing. Here's how this site creates this many leads. Here's how when it goes on Trulia, Zillow, these other places, how it's going to click them over to this page, and that's going to create leads for us. And here's how, and you're actually showing them. And the other thing you're doing, I don't want to overlook this, the other thing you're doing other than being a great professional and really doing, showing them exactly what you're going to do, is you're also playing the factor of guilt. Because they think you've done all this work, and they're like, oh my God, you put all this stuff together, and if you think that it comes down to you and another person and that's not going to push them over the edge, then you're fooling yourself. Because they're going to go, he's already put all this work in, she's already done whatever, and I haven't even hired them yet. How much more when I hire them, right? Yeah. So that's huge. I have 2 questions for you. Scott, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Number one of our people signed up under our listingstoleads.com /Jared James, and she just wrote in our coaching group that they first off, does it matter which package they pick today for the trial? And second, I just asked Listings to Lead support text, and they said my credit card will be charged in 14 days. Our trial is supposed to be a 30-day. So
that means they did not sign up at jaredjames.com. They just went to listingstoleads.com.
Yeah, that's what I said to her, and it sounded like she wrote back that she did sign up through listingstoleads.com/JaredJames. But if you want to check on that, just look in our group afterwards. Her name's Peggy Venuzelli, so check that out. Let's make sure that people are getting that. Again, guys, make sure you go to listingstoleads.com/JaredJames. That way you get the free 30 days, not the 14 days. We really do have an advantage. It's not like a fake thing given out to everybody else. It really is an advantage. And my second question, I think I might know the answers already, but somebody did tell me to ask it. Are you guys at this point, are you working towards being available in Canada, or are you just U.S.?
Oh, no. We're in Canada. Yeah,
oh, you're 100. Okay, so that answers. Brett had a question. So if you're in Canada, this is for Canadian as well. I mean, we have a lot of people from Canada, so that's why I asked that question.
Yeah. Like, for example.
Right, one more question. Somebody asked the question here, and I answered this before, so they must have missed this. They said, I'm not sure I understand this. Is it just for realtors with listings only? You need the listings in order to create the leads for the first thing that he showed, but you are allowed to market your colleagues and other people's listings. You can add them into the system and have them do everything he's showing you right now. As long as you get the broker's permission, you're allowed to do that. And then the other side I'd tell you is the things that I just talked about when you go to listing presentations, or when you're trying to get for sale by owners, or you're trying to get expireds, creating those single property websites through the system. You don't need a listing to do that. You just need access to the actual system. So I hope that answers your question. But like anything, the best thing to do is to sign up and go start playing with it. And if you have questions, they have a support team. Because the last thing you want to do is go, oh, I'm not sure, and just move on. This is such a ridiculous value for $30 bucks a month, guys. It really is. Or at least to try for free for 30 days. So listingstoleads.com/JaredJames. You have anything to add to what I just said, Scott, or is that...
No, in fact, and I'll tell you, just going off that, what people are looking at right here is a market report website. This was something that one of our clients and I kind of brainstormed over for a while. And I mean, so you got a single property website. And to the point about, well, do I need listings for this? No, because you've got so many tools in here, and this is a great tool. The market report website, there's just like a listing. It's a multiple property website, and so this is a market report, and there's market report e-flyers, blog post, YouTube video for the market report, Facebook post for the market report. So there are a lot of tools in Listings to Leads that will help you generate SEO. There's print flyers for this, more contacts within your farm area, more listings as well. So yeah, no, there's a lot of tools. Even if you've only got 1 or 2 listings, we want to help you to get to 5, 10, 15 listings so that you're not living the proverbial paycheck to paycheck type of thing and just, crossing your fingers that you get that new listing this week, because otherwise you've got no listings and you're kind of playing that game. Okay.
Yeah, and guys, let's be clear. This is another source of income in my mind. Like, for those of you in the program, 2 weeks ago when we did the broadcast, we talked about the action-reaction principle, and I went over about all the different ways that things that happen within your business, the system that then correlates to that, or a system that automates from that, the templates that are used to create buyers, to create sellers, those are still in play. You 100% do those. Our hour of power is in play, all of that. This is one other way, though. This is another part of your business, or another tool that should be a part of your business, because it's going to do those virtual tours, it's going to do those flyers, it's going to do the single property websites, it's going to upload it, it's going to do all the things that you're supposed to be doing, but it's going to do them for you automatically, okay? Scott, a couple of quick questions. The lady who said she got the 14, she's supposed to have 30, she said she's definitely on my site, because she goes on our site, because she said it shows Listings to Leads and the Jared James Enterprises logo at the top.
Yep.
So check into that, make sure that that's going the right way and giving people the 30 days to get. And then I have questions. I've gotten this from more than one person, and I'm not sure of the answer, but let's see how this could work. Some of our people signed up previously and never used it.
Yes.
And they said they really want to use it now. Is there a way for them to re-sign up under the listingstoleads.com/Jared James, still get the 30 days free and actually use it now?
Yeah.
How can we do that?
Let's do. Yeah, I'm trying to just figure out. I know.
I was trying to think. They're probably automatically in your system already. Like.
Yeah. We don't let people sign up like multiple times for the free trial.
Right.
But what we can do though is email me, and what we'll have you do is we'll have you sign up at /Jared James again, and then we will figure out how to reverse that charge. So what happened is you'll sign up. For those people, you'll sign up, you'll get charged right away, but we can reverse the charge and give you the effective 30-day free trial again. So yeah,
I appreciate you doing that, Scott. How should they contact you? What's your email?
Scott, S-C-O-T-T, at listingstoleads.com.
That's easy. Scott at listingstoleads.com. That's easy enough. What's your Twitter handle? Is it just at listingstoleads?
Yes. And then, yeah.
I'm just looking at, I've got questions coming in here. Just give me a second here because I'm looking at what people are posting. I want to make sure we get everybody's questions answered. I think we've done them. Is there anything else we need to add to this? I don't want to overload, but at the same time, let me just bring you through the process. Let's make this very simple, okay? When you sign up for Listings to Leads, you get the free 30-day trial. Here's what's going to happen. Every time you have a new listing, every time, it automatically is going to pull it from what do you call it? Hub. It's going to automatically create for you the YouTube video. It's going to automatically create the single property website you can show. It's going to automatically create the virtual tour. It's going to automatically create a flyer. All of these things are customizable, by the way, if you don't like how they come out, but they come out beautiful. It saves you one more thing you have to do. You're going to then have the ability with Zillow, Trulia, these kinds of places that when people go on those sites, which generate ridiculous amounts of traffic, I think Zillow got over 70 million unique visitors last month. When they click on virtual tour, which everybody looks at the virtual tours now and nobody clicks on it unless they have some bit of interest, it's going to bring them to an exterior site that you don't do a thing to build. They build it, it looks gorgeous, and it has all sorts of calls to action all around that site. On top of having all the calls to action, an automatic bubble pops up and says, do you want to be kept in another way that they're trying to do, another call to action to get people's information, okay? You also have the ability now to do the things I've been talking about with the landing pages if you're trying to generate seller leads and those kinds of things, if you want to do the work yourself. If you don't want to do the work yourself, go sign up for primesellerleads.com/Jared James. But if you want to do it for yourself right now, they'll give you the landing pages. They'll give you, like I said, the single property websites to go after for sale by owners, to go after expireds, to go after existing listings, to show up on the spot before you even have the listing, generate the information if you want to put it in yourself, and show them right off the bat. Here's the YouTube, here's the virtual tour, before you've ever gotten the listing, but it's doing it automatically for you. I mean, it's doing all this stuff for you guys, which is super cool, and it's $30 a month, but you can try it for free for 30 days. We had another question from someone else, Scott. Can you still hear me?
Oh, yeah, I'm right here.
And this is a popular question, and the reason why it's a question, let me see if I can find it here, is because this was a big issue in the industry, obviously. It says, are your ad creations now Craigslist and ActiveRain compliant with all their changes? Because I know that was a big issue in the industry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We went through the whole Craigslist fiasco.
Debacle, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, on the Craigslist, we've got one of our templates has the IVR information automatically inserted into it. So if you're using our IVR service, it'll actually automatically put that in there. But yeah, and this is something I thought about a couple of years ago, is that, Craigslist would do this. They would clamp down. I knew they would. And it's causing, I don't have the numbers exactly, but I bet real estate postings are down 80%. Right? 80% they're down probably. So that means that there's a lot of less ads to compete with. We got a really nice, in fact, it's right in my browser here. Let's see if I can post, So again, I never have to log into my account. I can post to Craigslist any of my listings right from my browser. And so it may take a few seconds to post to Craigslist, but instead of having, 1 out of every 200 people see your ad, it's going to be more like 1 out of 10, right? So a lot more people are going to see your Craigslist ads now than before. Does that make sense?
No, completely makes sense. So in other words, it is now compliant with those places. It is now working with those places. It's 100%. You're all set with that, right?
Yeah, and we're pretty. Yeah.
That was an issue for a while there. That they changed their rules and everything. So you guys, I'm sure, had a lot of fun, but you got that changed. The other question we had, someone said the landing pages are automated. So where are they marketed? Do we Facebook ourselves? Do we provide a budget for additional marketing? And the answer to that is simple. If you want to use their landing pages, and by the way, I'm not talking about the landing pages that link off of Zillow and Trulia and all those. I'm talking about if you want to generate your own seller leads and have the gorgeous-looking seller landing pages, then yes, under their program for the $30 a month, you can use those. You can create your own domains or use their domain, and you would provide the traffic. You would either do the Facebook advertising yourself to create equity calculators to get people to put in, or you would create the pay-per-click, or you would do that yourself if that's what you want because it's such a low cost for those specific landing pages, not the ones that come off of Zillow, Trulia, and all those places. If you want seller leads that you don't want to have anything to do with doing the marketing and creating the Facebook pay, advertising and all that, that's what the Prime Seller Leads is. Okay, so again, primesellerleads.com/Jared James. That's where you actually have a consultation with them. You tell them what your budget is per day, $5 per day, whatever, $10 per day, however many you want to create, and they'll do everything for you. All you do is respond to the leads and get those. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we have people in our program that budgeted $10 a day, and they had to shut it off because they had too many leads coming in. And I'm not making that up. Go post it in. You'll see there's people who did that. Okay. So I hope that gives you the difference between the two, Beth, and how that works. If it doesn't, write me again, and I'll make sure that you get the information you're looking for. Okay. Okay. Let me see. I've got more questions coming in. Scott, anything else we need to add to this? I've got all sorts. I'm sifting through questions right now.
Yeah. No. The only thing I would say is, and this is, you kind of hit on this a little earlier, and it's true within our system as well. When you sign up, like I said, we're going to set it up. You're going to get contacted by one of our people about doing a walkthrough. Please do the walkthrough. We do that with you, and we take our time to do that with you. Pay attention. Don't multitask. Right, Jared? You and I were laughing about. You and I were doing that a little earlier with each other. Spend 15 minutes with our people just so you understand the program, and then later. We've got tons of tools in here, the market reports, the FSBOs, the expireds. Don't necessarily try to learn it all at one time, right? So some of that extra stuff in there, don't feel like you got to master the program in 14, 30 days to get your value. There's so much in here, and sometimes people kind of get on us, why is there so much in here? And because our clients keep giving us feedback. Our clients keep giving us great ideas. And for those ideas that fit into the overall scope and goal of what our program is, we try to do it, and we try to add it, and then we try to automate it and make it as easy as possible for you. So sign up, let us set it up for you, do the walkthrough with us, pay attention to the walkthrough, take it easy, and just like Jared's stuff, just don't try to add to the wheel and recreate the wheel once you're within the program, because we've got it set up to work based on 5 years of experience with a lot of top agents and very successful agents in working with them on the feedback on this.
I want to real quick, Scott, I got a ton of questions here, so I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. Someone just posted here, Warren Earp, who actually uses your program now. He's in the free trial right now.
Oh, yeah.
He signed up through our website. He's in our program. He wanted to let everybody know. First off, he just got 2 seller leads, which is fantastic, and he's got a question about how to respond to them, which I'm going to cover before we get off the broadcast here. But he just posted in our Facebook group. You can also do a market campaign on Facebook using a landing page from listings to leads with no listings at all. And the whole idea was, like I said, setting up the Facebook advertising, whatever, bringing people, targeting specifically in your area, and having them actually point towards that landing page or click on and go to that landing page to create leads is what he's talking about right there. So that's fantastic. A lot of people are writing me too. It's not leads to listings. People are writing leads to listings. It's listingstoleads.com/Jared James, and there's no .com after my name. Listingstoleads.com/Jared James. Okay, there's no jaredjames.com. Okay, I want to make that very clear. I want to get to these questions here. So, Scott, can you hang out a minute here?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, sweet, because I'm literally sifting through them as I'm doing this. I told you, man, we don't always do this like the smoothest. We just want to make sure people get answers to their questions. Can you only put some of your listings, not all? I.e., I have lots and lots, and I may not wish to put on this site. My first question would be, why would you not want? Because you want as many leads as possible. And second off, can you turn off listings from being on there if they wanted to? I don't know why you would want to, but can you do that?
Well, yeah, and that really comes off, like he said, you have 10 lot listings, they're all right next to each other on a road out somewhere, and you only want to market one of the lots, right? Not all 9 of them, or not all 10 of them.
Yep.
And so yeah, you can turn off 9, and let's say you got 14 listings total. I can turn off 5 lot listings so that I stay within the 1 to 10 subscription package.
Right.
The answer is yes.
Okay, but like I said, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want them on there. Yeah. I always say there's no such thing as too many leads. There's a such thing as too few people. Meaning
There
if
you
you're
go.
getting too many leads, you really need a team.
Yep.
But that's a whole other subject. Someone else said, where can I see what listings to leads video looks like compared with what I use currently? So I think what she's asking is, where can I see like a virtual tour? Where can I see like what these things look like? Do we have any example, or should I just send her somewhere, or what? How do you want to handle that?
Well, if you go to listingstoleads.com, you'll see across the top that there are some icons that you can click. Just please don't sign up at listingstoleads.com because you will not get the free 30-day
Yeah,
trial.
listingsplease.com/Jared James. That's how you get the 30 days free.
Yeah, exactly. But you can also watch there's a video here, and this video will kind of explain the program, the one on /Jared James. But again, please do not sign up at our website, listingstoleads.com.
Do you have an example? Do you have an example of a virtual tour that your program's created, or that your software's created, or is there a place we can send them? Do you have anything like that?
You know what? I'll tell you what. Let me put it up on our. After this call is over with, I'm going to put one up on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Facebook.com.
That way you can go. That way you can go find it and put it up.
Yeah, and then I'll put the direct link to you under that as well.
So Facebook.com/ not Facebook. Facebook.com/ listings to leads.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're gonna have that up after we get off the call.
Yep.
Another question I have here, but I think we already answered it. It says, does the program only work when an agent has an active listing? And I think I already answered that. The answer is no. I mean, you can upload stuff yourself. You can use listings from your colleagues as long as you get their approval to do so. You can have an account, and as I said, go use it to generate single property websites for when you're marketing for more listings, to be able to go to for sale by owners, to FSBOs, to these places. You can, I mean, there's a million things you can do. You can be creative. There's a million different things you can do. So the answer is no. Hold on, man. I've got more questions here. I'd have to check that. Somebody said that on my site it states 21 days, but I have to check that. It should be 30 days. So I apologize if that's the case. I'll go look at that, and that will be changed right away. I promise you that.
You see here, 30 days. Yeah, no, you see here, start your 30-day free trial now. And I can see people signing up for the 30-day free trial. So
that's good. That's good. Someone else asked me again. Give that address again for signing up. It's listings to leads. It's not the number 2. It's TO. Listings, LASTINGS. It's kind of at the bottom of my name here, but it's tough to see if you're watching it on Google Plus because it's cut off. Listingstoleads.com/Jared James. What did someone write here? $2 or less for .info, which I've used from GoDaddy. That's a good point. Someone said that you can buy a domain on GoDaddy rather than do like what I said, the $8, $9, $10. They said if you buy .info, which really doesn't matter for these people as long as you're showing them a website, that it's actually $2 or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like anytime you want to go after, like I said, a single property website, and you want to create one, 323mainstreet.com or .info, I guess it would be in this case, and you want to go and impress people either for a listing you're going to, or for a sale by owner you're trying to get, or for whatever it happens to be. If you buy .info, 323mainstreet.info, it's $2 or less, and then you can forward that that domain that you bought to the URL that you guys are automatically generating. So that's a good point there. Give me 1 second, man. I'm trying here. I'm getting a lot of questions. I want to make sure everybody gets their questions answered. Oh, someone said we have circle picks, which seems to be similar too. What is the difference?
Circle Picks does not have.
Aren't they much more of a virtual tour company? Circle Picks.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, but they got some really good tools, but they don't have the links in the tools like ours. Ours, remember, we talked about marketing versus the marketing with inbound marketing attached to it, right? So when we were on that virtual tour on Realtor.com, there were all those links that went back to the broker or agent website, and so that's the big difference, right? We're not just trying to market the listing. We're trying to market the listing to generate buyer leads, right? We got, and like Jared was going through, we've got the seller landing pages. We've got so many other tools that are in there to help you generate both buyer and seller leads. That is, I don't want to say ridiculous, but there's just a lot in there. So,
right.
You know, again, in your mind, remember, there's marketing, and then there's inbound marketing and lead generation, I should say.
Right. So you guys, I mean, the bottom line is you guys are more all-encompassing of everything that you create. They offer some of the stuff you have, but then you guys offer way beyond.
Yeah, exactly.
What they're doing, which I 100% agree. I mean, I've checked them out as well, and it's why I promote you guys. They're not a bad company. It's just
no, not at all.
It's why I let me see here. Somebody wrote too. I wanted to answer. Somebody asked me a question recently. Actually, yesterday, one of the guys, he's using your program. He's already created in the last week a few seller leads using the landing pages and such. He's doing the marketing himself, unlike I said, like a prime seller leads. Everybody keeps asking this question, guys. Difference between listings to leads and prime seller leads, what we're promoting it for. Both of them offer landing pages, but I am not recommending going to prime seller leads for their lower package of just landing pages. If you just want landing pages, go to listings to leads. It's half the price, and they're just as beautiful. The only thing I would go to prime seller leads for, and they're fantastic, is if you want to add the additional budget and have them handle all of the marketing for you to create seller leads, creating Facebook ads and pay-per-clicks and all that, and have them do all of that for you. But I also want to make it very clear, that's what they do. Listings to leads, not only on the lower end, has the landing pages for you to just drive people to yourself and such, but they also, like I said, they're creating the YouTube stuff. They're linking to Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia and creating leads that way. They're allowing you to create they're creating flyers for you unless you want to edit them afterwards. They're doing the virtual tour for you. You don't need a separate virtual tour company. They're doing so many of these things for you guys that it's not necessary for you to spend the money for all these other companies working together. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Hold on, I just want to make sure here because I've got other questions. We'll start in a moment. We already took care of that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we have clients that are using prime seller leads and us.
That's what people should be doing. In my that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Like prime seller leads, if you're going to use them to have them market for you, you do that. Listings to leads does a completely different thing, and it's another source of leads. Right. Guys, we've got to get out of this mindset of this is my lead creator and then this is how I take care of them. Your lead creator is supposed to be coming from all over the place. Yeah. Okay. I say it all the time. Like most realtors have 2 lines in the water to try to catch fish when you should have 20. That's how you catch more fish. You put 20 lines in the water. Okay. Yeah, this is just another way that gives you an amazing way to create more leads for you.
Yeah. Hey, can I just say one more thing here? For those people that have professional photography, so you have a professional photographer, they take great photographs of your listing, and then they put those photographs in a virtual tour for you. Ask your professional photographer, especially for those of you that are our clients, you can upload those photographs into listings to leads. So I hear from a lot of people, well, why are you using the virtual tour from that one? And they'll say, well, my photographer uploaded them, and that's just the one that they gave me.
Right.
No, the photographer is a photographer. The photographer is not your inbound marketing team, right? The photographer is not your marketing team. They take the photographs. Get the photographs from the photographer. Either send them to us, and we'll upload them for you, or you can just upload them into for your listing and get rid of the MLS photos and create a gorgeous virtual tour with your professional photography. So don't kind of have that mindset. I don't really understand why people do this all the time. So get those professional photos from your photographer, upload them into listings to leads, or again, send them to us. We're more than happy to do it for you, and have those gorgeous professional photos for all the marketing of your listing.
Right. Now, I have another question here from somebody. Let me make sure I pull it up here and I do it correct. And I don't know the answer to this. I mean, I'm not, guys, you guys know me, I'm not filtering this stuff, so I hope there's a decent answer. But it says Century 21 has some tools like single property websites, YouTube videos, etc. Is this similar to Listings to Leads, or maybe Listings to Leads is actually doing the Century 21 program, or do you know anything about that?
No, but we have a lot of Century 21.
I work with a lot of Century 21 agents, and I know what they're talking about, and they do some of the things, but they don't do it on the scale of the automation and the adding it to the bringing people from the traffic from Zillow and Trulia and these kinds of places.
Exactly.
That to me is a major difference.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They don't have the links. They don't have the breadth of automation and the breadth of tools in here. So yeah, that's. Yeah,
they've got a decent program, and I've seen it before, but it's not the same scope. Like that's what I hope you guys are understanding here is everything this program does. But it automates it. So like it's just pulling it, and it does it automatically unless you want to manually put stuff in. And again, it's also leveraging, last month over 130 million unique views on Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com together, over 70 million on Zillow alone. When you look at those, that it's really leveraging that traffic to you without making you pay for the additional leads. And again, I'm not anti-paying for zip code leads through those places. That's another source of income. But this is just another line out there, another fishing pole, another line out there that says, hey, if they don't go through that way, let's try to drive them to us without having to pay that much money first. Okay, so I think that's really cool.
Well, here, and this is a Coldwell Banker broker, and like Century 21, they have a lot of the same or similar tools. And again, it's all about those links, right? It's all about the automation, the breadth of tools, and the links in it, so that we can get people from wherever they were on the internet and into our website, so that we can continue generating more leads. It's not about marketing; it's about generating leads.
Awesome.
Along with the marketing.
All right, well, I've got another call I've got to jump on, but I want to real quick say a couple things. Number one, Scott, thanks so much for coming on. People can reach you, Scott at listingstoleads.com. You're on Facebook. You're, facebook.com/listingstoleads is their webpage, which they're going to have up a example of the virtual tour for you guys to go check out as soon as we get off here, so you can want to go check that out. I also want to mention really quickly, guys, a little something. I've been working the last 2.5 years on my new book called Get Out of Your Way. Pre-orders are now open, so it's kind of an exciting time for me. If you go to our website, one of the things we're doing is you're not just allowed to buy the pre-orders, and if you buy in bulk, there's bulk prices. For some of the companies and brands that watch and such, I've actually got stuff where I'll do a webinar or come speak at your event for a certain number of copies that are purchased, more than 10 obviously. But for yourself, make sure you get not only pre-order a copy for yourself, but for other people around you too, because I think it's going to be really helpful. We've also added on our site, if you click over the area that says get the new book, if you hover over that menu item, there's a thing right below that, 100% free, says read the intro for free. No strings attached, no put in your email, no nothing. Like, just go read the intro. It's gonna explain to you what this book is about, how it's gonna help you. This is a lot of work in the process. It's finally done. It'll be out next month, but pre-orders are now open, so I'd love to do that. As we always say, guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet to the annual advance, get your butt there. Going to be sick value. You're going to be actually implementing stuff like this. We're going to be implementing. Like, you're going to have your computer open. We're going to do it on the spot. Okay, that's the idea. Okay. So with that being said, thank you so much, Scott, for coming on. You have any closing words or?
No, thank you so much for having us, and we've enjoyed the relationship with you over the last number of months, and can't wait to see you in at the event.
Yeah, definitely, man. How can people, because we're going to have a lot of people watching this throughout the week, how can people, if they have questions about, obviously, they can go to listingstoleads.com/Jared James. Should they tweet Listings to Leads if they have questions? Should they is there a question thing? How do they ask questions throughout the week if they have them?
Yeah, I think really the best way is hit support@listingstoleads.com for any kind of questions that you may have, whether you're just inquiring about it or a question about when you're in the program. I monitor that. I got a support staff that monitors that. So support@listingstoleads.com, listingstoleads.com/Jared James to sign up for the free 30-day trial, and facebook.com/listingstoleads. And I'll put a couple of posts up there here after I hang up with everybody here in response to some of the questions, the virtual tour, and a few other things.
Awesome. Guys, well, if you could please go say thank you to Scott. Tweet him @listingstoleads. Go on their facebook.com/listingstoleads. Shoot him an email, scott@listingstoleads.com. And make sure you say thank you for coming on and really demonstrating for us what happens here. If you have questions, too, you can do that as well. But with that being said, guys, we're back at it next week. I hope this is helpful for you. $30 a month, guys. You can't beat it for everything that's going to be offered under that price. Again, 30 days free. Listingstoleads.com/Jared James. Have a great week, guys. Talk to you soon.